Alrighty, thank you guys for joining us. My name is James Morrow from the National Weather Service here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We will get going with our weekly weather briefing that covers the central North Carolina area between Monday, April 29th and Sunday, May 5th. If you guys are tuning in to this after Monday, May 29th, we recommend going to weather.gov/Raleigh for the latest weather information, as sometimes weather can get outdated pretty quickly. So if you're tuning in on YouTube a little bit later, feel free to check back on our website for the latest information. And the purpose of these briefings is to give you an idea of what to expect weather-wise for the upcoming week. We'll certainly be updating our social media accounts and our website as we go on throughout the week with the latest information. So we highly recommend checking back in with us as the week goes on, especially seeing as most of the active weather looks to be a little bit later in the period, so that we'll need a little bit of massaging as we go forward throughout the period here. So let's get going. First off, we're going to take a look at what we're currently seeing. We actually have a cold front or a stationary front that is just south of our area this morning. That's keeping a lot of these low clouds that we see out here in place across central North Carolina. And anytime you have that, we tend to have some very cool temperatures, but those just south of us will warm pretty nicely. So somewhere today where the sun peaks out, especially if you're tuning in from the Sandhills or the southern Piedmont area, and I apologize for the error at that last bar there, but somewhere in the southern area may actually break into the 80s before the day is over. Otherwise, for those that stay under mostly cloudy skies with those low clouds hanging on in place, you'll likely stay in the low to mid 70s throughout the day. So this will actually be the coldest day of the week as we go forward, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the forecast as we continue on. So just a quick overlook at the week's pattern. We got high pressure that's going to remain in control. That cold front is going to lift north as a warm front later on today into tonight, and that should allow us to clear out and actually be pretty warm beginning even as early as tomorrow, and actually feel more summer-like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. Midweek looks nice with that high pressure remaining in control and most of the activity remaining Virginia and north. Late in the week, we do have a cold front that's going to approach Friday into Saturday. That's going to introduce our next chance of some active weather, with high pressure expected to fill in this later on in the weekend to provide a pretty seasonable and pleasant weekend ahead, at least Sunday into early Monday of next week. So it should be pretty warm with some active weather, possibly late in the week into early the weekend, but then we should have high pressure regaining control by the weekend's end and into early next work week. Severe thunderstorm potential remains low. The next chance of some thunderstorms will arrive Friday night into Saturday. Right now, an early look at this does not show a huge amount of severe potential. We just don't have quite the amount of instability in place. But this time of year, anytime we have a good boundary coming through, we'll be paying close attention to exactly how much heat and how much instability we have in place and how that may play into the forecast and possibly some strong storms as we approach late in the afternoon and evening Friday into early Saturday. We'll be monitoring that very closely for the next few days. Precipitation wise, we should be pretty quiet today, Tuesday, very little rain expected. Wednesday, same story there. Really, the rain doesn't approach until Saturday, Friday night into Saturday, and maybe persisting into Saturday morning, but most of this will occur between Friday evening into midday to maybe Saturday afternoon with a couple of lingering showers and storms. But either way, we're only talking about an area average up to a half-inch tops. Most areas seeing anywhere from a trace to maybe a quarter of an inch with some localized showers and thunderstorms. Nothing that we can't handle at this point. Here's a closer look at the 7-day totals. Again, most of this coming late in the period, Saturday and Sunday. So until then, we're expecting some very warm temperatures, very dry conditions, and pleasant conditions, because our humidity won't be terribly high, but it'll certainly be the first taste of significant summer-like feel to the temperatures, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with highs in the mid to upper 80s, with a few places even hitting 90 degrees, especially if you're tuning in from the Sandhills and the Fayetteville type area. They have the best chance of seeing maybe a 90-degree temperature or two popping up. Looking at your 8 to 14 day outlooks, we're looking warmer than normal, at least across the southeastern United States, and that precipitation looks a little bit wetter than normal too. So this active pattern looks to reinitiate as early as this weekend and kind of continue in place into much of next week. So we'll be kind of watching that. These aren't huge indications on either case, 33 to 40% chance of seeing above normal temperatures. But for the most part, we are expecting that pattern, that warmer than normal and wetter than normal pattern to continue on across central North Carolina area. And while we're not expected oppressive heat values, it is that time of year where we should start thinking of some heat safety related things. So I highly recommend going to weather.gov/heat for some nifty infographics like this and some information. But keep in mind, even if it may not be oppressive outside, inside of vehicles, it can be oppressive, especially for those animals and kids that you may have in the back seat. So be sure to look before you lock your vehicles each and every afternoon when it's warm out there. Quick summary, cool and cloudy conditions persist on Monday with more summer-like conditions beginning Tuesday, continuing on through Thursday, if not Friday afternoons. Rain and storm chances arrive late Friday into Saturday, and more seasonable conditions will follow for the weekend. And drought concerns remain minimal, and the tropics remain quiet. So taking a look at your temperature curve, we got 70 degrees as a high across Raleigh today. Those across the southern areas that see some more sunshine could reach 80, but those a little bit further north could stay in that mid to even 60s across parts of the triad are possible. So certainly a wide temperature derivation is possible this afternoon and evening. But then we get those really summer-like conditions filling in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday under mostly sunny skies with those storm chances arriving Friday and early Saturday. With some clouds lingering maybe Sunday. A lot of uncertainty once we get out to day 7, but it looks like a pleasant end of the weekend. At this point, I'll pause the recording and take any questions that you may have.